What if you lived in a place where most people dream of leaving? In some states, over 60% of residents say they're unhappy, struggling with high crime, unaffordable living costs, or even harsh weather. These places have become symbols of frustration, but why? What makes a state so disliked? This video reveals the top 5 most hated states in the US and the reasons behind their bad reputations. From failing economies to safety concerns, we'll explore what makes these states so polarizing. But here's the twist: even the most hated places have their defenders. Are they truly as bad as people say, or is there more to the story? Let's start with number 5 and uncover the truth behind the hate and whether it's really deserved. Number 5. California. California, often seen as the land of dreams, is also one of the most hated states in the US. Why? The biggest reason is the cost of living. The average price of a home here is over $800,000, making it nearly impossible for many families to afford a place to live. Rent is just as bad, with some people paying more than $3,000 a month for a small apartment. On top of that, taxes are some of the highest in the country, leaving many residents feeling squeezed. But it's not just about money. California also struggles with homelessness. Cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco have thousands of people living on the streets, and the problem keeps growing. Traffic is another headache. Commuters spend hours stuck on freeways every day. And while California is known for its beautiful weather, wildfires and droughts are becoming more common, making life harder for everyone. Despite these issues, California still has its fans. The state is home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and some of the most stunning beaches in the world. But for many, the challenges outweigh the perks, making California one of the most disliked states in the country. Number 4. New York. New York is famous for its bright lights and big cities, but it's also one of the most hated states. The biggest complaint? The cost of living. In New York City, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is around $4,000 a month. For many, that's more than half their paycheck. And it's not just housing. Everything from groceries to transportation is more expensive here. Crime is another major concern. While New York City has made progress in reducing crime, many people still feel unsafe, especially in certain neighborhoods. The subway system, which millions rely on every day, is often criticized for being dirty, unreliable, and even dangerous at times. Then there's the weather. Winters in New York can be brutal, with freezing temperatures and heavy snowstorms. Summers aren't much better, with high humidity and heat waves making life uncomfortable. Still, New York has its charms. The state is a cultural hub with world-class museums, theaters, and restaurants. But for many, the high costs and daily struggles make it a tough place to live, earning it a spot on this list. Number 3. Florida. Florida might be known for its sunny beaches and theme parks, but it's also one of the most hated states in the US. One of the biggest reasons is the weather. While the sunshine is nice, hurricanes are a constant threat. Every year, residents face the risk of losing their homes to these powerful storms. Another issue is the cost of living. While Florida doesn't have a state income tax, property insurance rates are some of the highest in the country due to the hurricane risk. This makes owning a home more expensive than many people expect. Florida also has a reputation for being a retirement destination, but that's not always a good thing. Some areas are overcrowded with older residents, making it harder for younger people to find jobs or affordable housing. And while the state is popular with tourists, locals often complain about the traffic and crowded attractions. Despite these problems, Florida still has its fans. The warm weather, beautiful beaches, and no state income tax are big draws. But for many, the challenges of living here make Florida one of the most disliked states in the US. Number 2. Illinois. Illinois, home to the bustling city of Chicago, is another state that often finds itself on the list of most hated states. The biggest issue here is taxes. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the country, and residents feel the pinch every year when it's time to pay up. On top of that, the state has a reputation for political corruption, which has left many people feeling frustrated and distrustful of their leaders. Crime is another major concern, especially in Chicago. While the city is known for its vibrant culture and iconic landmarks, it also struggles with high rates of violent crime. Shootings and gang activity make headlines regularly, leaving residents feeling unsafe in their own neighborhoods. The weather doesn't help either. Winters in Illinois are long and harsh, with heavy snow and freezing temperatures that can make daily life a challenge. Summers can be just as tough, with high humidity and heat waves that make it hard to stay comfortable. Despite these issues, Illinois has its bright spots. Chicago is a global city with world-class museums, restaurants, and sports teams. But for many, the high taxes, crime, and tough weather make Illinois one of the most disliked states in the U.S. Number 1. Texas. Texas might surprise some people as the most hated state, but it's a love it or hate it kind of place. One of the biggest complaints is the weather. Summers in Texas are scorching, with temperatures often reaching over 100 degrees. The heat can be unbearable, and it's not uncommon for people to stay indoors for weeks at a time during the peak of summer. Another issue is the state's politics. Texas is known for its conservative policies, which can be a turnoff for more liberal residents. Debates over issues like abortion, gun control, and education funding often leave people feeling divided and frustrated. Then there's the infrastructure. While Texas is growing rapidly, its roads and public services haven't always kept up. Traffic in cities like Houston and Dallas is notorious, and public transportation options are limited. But Texas isn't without its fans. The state has a strong economy, with plenty of job opportunities in industries like tech and energy. It's also home to vibrant cities, rich cultural traditions, and some of the best barbecue in the country. Still, for many, the challenges of living in Texas make it the most hated state in the U.S. So, what do you think? Do these states deserve the hate they get, or is there more to the story? Whether you agree or disagree, one thing is clear: every state has its challenges and its charms. If you've lived in or visited any of these places, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting, and share it with someone who might have a strong opinion about these states. For more rankings, insights, and deep dives into life across America, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.